Hello and welcome to another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. In each episode, we take a look at a movie that is featured on Disney+. On this episode, we are going back to the 80s as we take a look at Can't Buy Me Love, starring Patrick Demsey. And stay tuned for a bonus story as we take a look at the history of Mickey's Toontown. And if you are enjoying these episodes, I do ask that you please hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified with each new episode. Now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we are covering Can't Buy Me Love. This movie was released on August 14th, 1987. It was directed by Steve Rash. It was written by Michael Swedrick. The production companies were Touchstone Pictures, Silver Screen Partners 3, Apollo Pictures, and the Mount Company, and it was distributed by Buena Vista Distribution. The box office for this movie was $31.6 million. In terms of the production, the film was shot on location in Tucson, Arizona, and at the Tucson High Magnet School. The choreography of the film was actually done by Paula Abdul, and the original title of the film was going to be Boy Rents Girl, but once the producers were able to secure the music rights for Can't Buy Me Love, they would rename the movie. The score was composed by Robert Fork, with a soundtrack actually being released in 2013. Let's take a look at the cast. So we have Patrick Demsey, who plays Ronald Miller, Amanda Peterson, who plays Cindy Mancini, Darcy DeMoss, who plays Patty, Count McCowan, who plays Quint, Esker Bruskoff, who plays Big John, and Seth Green, who plays Chuck Miller. In terms of the plot, Ronald Miller is tired of being a nerd and makes a deal with one of the most popular girls in schools to help break him into the cool clique. He offers her $1,000 to pretend to be his girlfriend for a month. It succeeds, but he soon learns the price of popularity more than what he had bargained for. So this actually had a remake in 2003 that would be remade called Love Don't Cost a Thing. And this version of the movie starred Nick Cannon and Christina Milian. In terms of recommending this movie, so this movie is a similar story that's been told 1,000 times. Geeky girl buys or rents or becomes popular by dating popular girl in school. They fall in love. The one that's a little bit different is Dempsey's character actually goes into full jerk mode by the end of the movie. You actually feel more empathy towards Amanda Peterson's character than you do Patrick Dempsey's. The other interesting thing is I think there's a lot of dramatic scenes which makes this like a staple 80s comedy because it's almost over the top. But I think there are a lot of good things there, especially if you're a fan of those 80s comedy. And you can definitely see the potential in Patrick Demsey as he would go on to superstardom. So definitely would recommend it. So let's take a look at our bonus story as we take a look at Mickey's Toontown. So Mickey's Toontown is a themed land at both Disneyland and Tokyo Disneyland. Similar lands were added in Disneyland Paris called Toon Studio, and Walt Disney World used to have a land called Mickey's Toontown Fair. The land is a recreation of Mickey's neighborhood where guests can meet Mickey and his friends in their homes. So in terms of the history of the land, when Roger Rabbit was recognized as a popular character after the release of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, it was shortly after the movie that the set of attractions was developed for Disney theme parks. Roger was going to have his own land behind Main Street, USA called Hollywoodland. At the same time, a new land was being created for Mickey for Mickey's 60th birthday called Mickey's Birthday Land. So the set of attractions based on Roger Rabbit would also be located at Disney MGM Studios, but these were abandoned after financial difficulties of the Euro Disney, which resulted in financial cutbacks. So what Disney decided to do was Mickey's Toontown would be a combination of both Hollywoodland and Mickey's Birthday Land. So Mickey's Toontown would be opened in Disneyland in 1993, and in Tokyo Disneyland it would be opened in 1996. The land would be distinct as it would use background music as many of the soundtracks from the old Mickey Mouse cartoons, as well as previous silly symphonies. So opening day attractions. So when the guests arrived, they were treated to numerous play areas and meet and greets. And some of these included Goofy's Bounce House, the Jolly Trolley, Chippendale Treehouse, and Donald's Boat. The land would also feature Mickey and Minnie's houses, where guests could go inside and end up having a photo op and an autograph session with the two famous mice. The only opening day attractions that are still there to this day are Gadget's Go Coaster and Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. Both are still in operation to this day. In 2021, the Disneyland version would receive a makeover that would add Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So that's just a brief history of the Mickey's Toontown. We will go more in depth in future videos about some of the attractions as well. So thank you so much for joining us here on another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. I hope for any of you that have seen Can't Buy Me Love, I would love for you to leave a comment below on what you think of the movie, as well as if you have a favorite memory of Mickey's Toontown, I would love for you to share. So as we look forward to our next episode, we're going back into the world of Marvel as we take a look at the Fantastic Four, The Rise of the Silver Surfer. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.